Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Wellness Wednesday of the Health Formula Show. I am so happy that you're here with me today because we are continuing our deep dive into what I believe is the single most powerful way to transform your health. Anti-inflammatory nutrition. So last week in episode 368, we spoke about gluten and why it's so inflammatory for everyone, not just for those with celiac disease or sensitivities. And a couple of episodes before that, in 363 and 364, I had to split the topic of dairy into two parts because there was just so much to cover. So if you haven't tuned into those episodes yet, definitely go back and check them out after this one. But today, I want to bring everything together because this is not just about cutting random foods or jumping on, the latest diet trend. This is about learning how to structure your meals in a way that actually supports healing. And this topic matters a lot because chronic inflammation is one of the biggest root causes behind the symptoms that I see every single day in my practice. Things like fatigue, anxiety, hormonal issues, breakouts, gut problems, skin flares, brain fog. They are often not just about stress or genetics or age. They are actually driven by the food that we eat day after day. And here's the thing. Most people are walking around inflamed and they don't even realize it because inflammation doesn't always scream. Like sometimes it actually whispers. And that whisper might sound like low energy by 3 p.m., bloating that comes and goes, mood swings that don't make any sense, or just not feeling like yourself. But when we calm that inflammation down, everything changes. So let's start with the foods that I see keeping people inflamed, even those who think they are eating clean. Gluten. Number one, I covered this already, as I said, episode 368, but it's worth repeating. Even if you don't feel bloated or sensitive, gluten increases a protein called zonulin, which opens up the gut lining. And that then leads to something called leaky gut and, immune dysregulation and inflammation throughout the entire body. Second is dairy. Again, covered in episodes 363 and 364. I explained how conventional cow's dairy, especially A1 casein, can be, a major problem. Think sinus problems, acne, bloating, allergies, fatigue, painful PMS symptoms. These are like the most sensitivities and symptoms that I see. Then we have seed oils like canola, soybean, sunflower, corn. These are highly processed oils that create huge problems in terms of like an omega imbalance, and they promote inflammation. They are found in so many packaged foods, dressings, and even like quote unquote healthy snacks. Next one, we have refined sugars and sweeteners because these go beyond just spiking your blood sugar. They actually affect your gut microbiome. They raise your cortisol levels, your stress hormones. They trigger inflammation on a cellular level. Even quote unquote natural sugars can be problematic if you are relying on them too often. Next, we have packaged health foods. Yes, even if they are gluten-free, plant-based, even if they are labeled as organic, if they are loaded with additives, gums, processed oils, they are not doing your body any favors. Okay, so now that those are out of the way, I want to get straight into what I recommend. Okay, all the foods that our body just loves. Number one, non-starchy vegetables. These should make up the majority of your plate. So I would say 75%. Think leafy greens, broccoli, rocket, fennel, courgette, asparagus, cauliflower. These really support your gut, they stabilize your blood sugar, and they give your body the minerals and the fiber that it needs to actually repair and to balance inflammation. Next, we have starchy vegetables in moderation, okay? So we are talking sweet potatoes, squash, pumpkin, all of those are brilliant for like energy and for your thyroid support. Just make sure that you don't go overboard and that you keep portions balanced. Next, we have healthy fats. So like avocados, extra virgin organic olive oil, flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, macadamias. These are great because they reduce inflammation, they support hormone production, and they keep your brain sharp. Then we have clean protein. So think, organic pasture-raised chicken, grass-fed and grass-finished beef, wild fish, pasture-raised eggs, organic lentils, organic non-GMO tempeh and tofu. Protein is essential for healing, for detox, for rebuilding, especially if you're dealing with like fatigue or hormonal imbalances. Then we have low glycemic fruits like berries, green apples, make sure they are organic, pomegranate. They are very, very rich in antioxidants and they support your immune system and your skin big time. And lastly, herbs and spices. So think turmeric, rosemary, ginger, oregano. They have powerful anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial effects. I use them daily in my cooking. Now, how do you structure your plate, right, to include all of these foods? So there's a very simple formula that I give to my clients. Half of your plate should be non-starchy vegetables, palm-sized portion of protein, thumb-sized serving of healthy fats, and then optional, you can add like half a cup of slow, carbs like sweet potato or quinoa, and then herbs or spices to finish. You don't need to count calories, guys. Like you don't need to track every bite. You just need to build your meals that support your body, not fight against it. I do want to give you an example of how this, might look in a day. So again, a day of eating that calms inflammation and keeps it at bay. Upon waking, you want to have your morning cleansing drink. I'll link up the free recipe in the show notes and in YouTube in the description below. And then after that, you can start your day with a smoothie with a daily essential formula, handful of organic spinach, handful of organic frozen berries, some chia seeds or flax seeds, some filtered water or maybe unsweetened nut milk, some cinnamon. This gives your body the nutrients, the hydration, the steady energy without the crash, and it will keep you full for hours. Lunchtime, maybe some roasted broccoli or maybe a little bit of rocket as well, grilled wild-caught salmon and olive oil dressing. If you want maybe some starches, like half a cup of cooked quinoa. As a snack, you can do maybe like cucumber sticks with tahini or, a green apple with almond butter or a handful of raw nuts like walnuts, macadamias, almonds. And then dinner, you can do maybe a lentil and spinach soup, a smaller portion of maybe some baked cod, a simple salad with like lemon and olive oil. And in the evening, I love just winding down with like a cup of peppermint or chamomile tea. So again, it's really not that complicated. And what I want you to take away from this is that you don't need to follow a strict plan. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be intentional. Like be very intentional with every single food that you put into your mouth that you swallow, because it literally determines what your cells are going to be made out of. So again, just repeat the message of you're safe, you can heal if you put the right foods into your body, make just one simple swap and let those changes build. And if you ever feel stuck on what to cook or just need some fresh inspiration, like honestly, the Synergized app has been such a lifesaver for me, I have to say. I use it all the time, especially on Sundays when I'm like planning out the meals for the week. I will literally scroll through the recipes, check the grocery list, which are right there under each recipe. And again, I just make sure that I've got everything on hand, and the meals are super simple, which I love because I really don't have time, no fancy ingredients. And it just takes the stress out of like figuring out what to eat, So it has just made my life so much easier. And if you're trying to eat in a more anti-inflammatory way, I think you're going to find it very, very helpful as well. And you can check it out at paulabenedict.com/app, but I will also link it up in the show notes. Thank you so much for tuning in. And before you go, take a moment to acknowledge yourself for wanting to become the healthiest version of yourself. Before you head off, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss a weekly episode. We cover everything from functional medicine to gut health, to hormones, to weight loss, to skin health, to natural beauty, you name it. All of the topics that truly matter. And if there's something that you would love me to cover, just drop it in the comments below. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.